Alright guys, today we're going to be making a fishbowl out of clay. Pretty soon you're going to get a piece of clay about the size of a baseball, and at your table you should have a blue mat. I like to fold mine in half to make it a little bit smaller. We have water and we have our clay tools. Okay. First thing you're going to do is you're going to flatten your clay out. We want to get it nice and flat because we're going to be cutting out this shape right here in the cardboard. So the first thing you'll do, you could take off a little bit if you feel like you have too much, but don't take off too much. But I'm going to make it into a ball, and then I'm going to take this part of my hand and I'm going to be tapping it around in a circle. Okay. After a while, I want to flip it, because if you don't flip it, it will stick to the mat. It's hard to get off. So just keep doing this. Keep flipping it. I want to get it nice and smooth as you're working on it. Okay. Keep on doing it. It's almost there. Let's check and see if it's going to fit. It's a little bit too small still, so I need to keep going, and probably just a few more times. Sometimes I even go like this, and that stretches it. You just kind of take it and just kind of go like that. Alright, this looks like it's pretty even. I think that's going to be a really nice piece to work with. And let's check again. And it looks like it works. Okay, so now I need to cut out the shape. So I find a good cutting tool. There's a lot of good cutting tools in here, but some work maybe a little bit better than others. This one's pretty good. I'm going to put in some water. It's going to help make it a little bit more slippery. And then I'm just going to go around cardboard, trying to get it so it's the same shape as that cardboard. Okay. I'm going to take these scraps, put them off to the side, because I'm going to need that for all my details that I add on the inside. And then I could take this off. Alright, that looks like it turned out pretty good. You might have to go and kind of fix it and kind of go over it. And it might actually be kind of stuck to this mat here, so it's a good time to kind of check it over and just kind of lay it down again so it doesn't stick to that mat. The first thing after doing this, what I want you to do is you're going to create the top part up here. You're going to make it look more like it's three-dimensional. So we're going to create a coil. To create a coil, you're going to start first of all with a log. Okay, so you take your clay into a ball and then you create it into a log. Okay, now that's not going to work because it's too thick. What I like to do is move this off to the side. On your table, it's okay if you do this. You're going to start rolling it out like this using the palm of your hand, and you want it to be nice and even and long and skinny. Okay, but not too skinny though. If you go too skinny, it'll break. Okay, so let's check this one. Bring this back here, and I'm going to make an oval. I start it right here, and I'm going to wrap it around here. Okay. Sometimes it likes to crack over there, so I put a little water and I measure it there. And it looks like that one's going to work. I'm going to make a little cut right here. Put that off to the side. Now, I do need to scratch underneath. This is called slipping and scoring. So what I do is I find one of those tools that has the teeth in it, and then I just run it along the edge here, and then a little bit on here, and that's going to help it so it doesn't fall off later on. Okay? So, go here, here, and then I'm just pressing it into that little area, and then I might smooth it where it gets connected here, trying to make it look like there's no seam there. And then I just kind of tap it and push it down and just kind of work it a little bit. You have to work things a little bit with clay and positioning them in the correct spot. Alright, that looks pretty good. It looks like it's the top part of our fishbowl. Now I did have a little bit left over from this piece, and I'm going to actually put it down here. If you don't have some left over, then you have to probably make another little one. Scratch it, put some water on it, and that'll make it so it will not come off if you press it in there. Okay, that's kind of like the base of our fish bowl here. Alright, next we get to work with some details on the inside. So we have to create a fish. I want everybody to create at least a fish, okay? After that you can kind of do what you want with your design. To make a fish, okay, you're going to start with kind of like a marble size of clay, or even smaller. It really doesn't take a lot, okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to make it nice and round in your hands, and then you're going to just kind of tap it, tap it to make it a little more flat, okay? Now that is a round fish, so we're going to add a little bit to it, and we might even squeeze it a little bit to make it a little bit more flat there, okay? So maybe I put a fish over here, okay, and maybe a back fin. To do the back fin, you know, there's not one right way to do it. You can just kind of make a little ball, you can kind of form it in your hands, but you can kind of put that on the back side like that. And I think that's pretty good fish. You could put some, you know, like a top fin on it too. And some of these pieces get kind of small as you're working with the clay here, okay? Now I didn't scratch and attach, so I'm going to need to take these pieces up now and just kind of scratch a little bit here, a little bit here, and then, oops, underneath here and here. And that's so I can put those down and they won't come up a little bit later, okay? So I just press it in and kind of work it again. If you want little details on there, sometimes you find a little pencil or tool in there. You can actually put your eyes in there, some textures. You can make little scales on your fish. That's what's going to make it kind of neat as you're working with the textures and details, because they're real, because you can actually feel those. After that, you can make some seaweed down here. You know, you could take a little piece of clay and build up seaweed. You could do turtles. You could do just about anything. But let me show you one more that's kind of fun to do. Maybe you do like an octopus. Okay, so you make a really skinny one, kind of like this. Okay. And then you do two of these. This could be a jellyfish too, if you want it to be jellyfish. And I'm just going to set it right on top like that, and I'll show you what you could do. You could leave them long, or you could cut them a little bit there. But on the top, I just kind of smooth it out, but I want to show this on the bottom. Now I didn't scratch and attach on this, so that's okay for this one, because I'm really pressing it into the clay. So you want to make sure that you press that all the way down and make it a little more flat there. Okay? One other thing that's really cool, towards the end, you can make some bubbles. Take one of these lids and you just kind of stamp it all throughout to create a bubble look. Okay, that's kind of fun to add a little bit more texture at the end. You could even go up here. Okay? And finally, if you want to have holes, this will be optional. If you want to have like a little hanger up here, you could do one hole or two holes where you go like this, and then later on we could put like a little hanger here for you, so you could hang it up. Alright guys, can't wait to see how your fish bowls turn out today.